Welcome to JulesFM and part 2 of my chat with Hughesy. In this episode, we hear more about Hughesy's belief of the importance of staying in the present and the approach that has led to his incredible success. He shares the advice he gives to his children about following their dreams and what he wishes he was told at the start of his career. But we pick up here with Hughesy's fantastic strategies to deal with criticism and how he responds to negative feedback. Well, speaking about attention, what happens when it's negative? What happens? How do you deal with criticism and public? Because you're in such a public domain. Like what you do is out there.
Yeah, and that's, you know what, and people need to realise that the more, the more well-known you get, the more criticism is just going to come your way. So no matter who you are, I remember once I was turned on the internet and there was on Twitter or someone wrote, Jerry Seinfeld's never been funny and never will be funny. I'm like, I mean, the guy's fucking, richer than God and world famous, and someone on the internet's gone, he's never been funny. So that made me relax a bit. So, yeah, I mean, I've copped a stack of criticism over my journey from that first gig where I walked off stage and, one of the crowd said, I was talking about being teased in my first gig. It was one that no one laughed at. And as I'm walking out of the venue, some bloke sort of said those kids at school were right to tease you. And I'm thinking, that's harsh. So that's, I could have quit that day, and I could have quit. I could quit every day. I get on the internet and every day people are telling me to quit or, like, you're not funny, you've never been funny. So, and it used to annoy me. Yeah. But you know what? Something about the volume of criticism you cop on the internet, actually, it makes you immune to it. So I now just, I used to block people who were really mean to me on the internet. Now I just like their comments. So it's like, generally no one else has liked their comments. So they go, oh, fuck, I've called Dave Hughes a loser. And someone's liked it, and then they go to it and realise it's me who's liked it. So I'm big on, but again, that's what I'm big on with that. I think it's impossible to police the internet. So I think what we should do is teach children, and I do with my kids, and they see the criticism I cop because, they're on social media as well. And I think that's a good thing because they realise it doesn't affect me. So, and I'd say you choose to be affected by it. You don't have to be affected by any of it. So, I think we need to teach children not to obviously be kind to people. And, and I'm always big about being kind and don't be nasty for its own sake. But a big thing is just don't, you choose whether criticism, hurts you or not. So,
such good advice.
So that's, for me, it's like, let's just teach kids that external criticism means nothing. So the more we can teach that, the less I believe kids will, self-harm after reading something terrible on the internet, because everyone has to realise that everyone gets, no matter how successful or unsuccessful or pretty or not pretty or whatever you are, criticism comes to everyone. So it's how you deal with it, and the fact that you just don't let that affect you, and it's practice over time. So
absolutely, they say emotional regulation is like the biggest challenge kids have out in this next generation have got. Like they don't know how to deal with that. They take it all so personally. So
I know, and look, I have as well over the years. I've held grudges against reviewers who haven't given me 5-star reviews. I've been through all that, and I continued, but I really, in the second half of my life, I'm 54 now, have come to that realisation that if I take my ego out of it, there's just no problems. There's just no problems. So just take as much as you can, take your ego away. And I don't even like the term self-worth. I'm all about forgetting yourself. Just forget yourself. And just bask in the glory of fucking existence. And I think more likely, positive stuff will come your way. But honestly, it doesn't matter. Because you have just forgotten about it. So does
that take a lot of practice to get to that point?
Well, it's a constant. So but it's because of I've trained myself the other way over my journeys. And I remember I've been a narcissist since I was 3 years old. So I've been feeling sorry for myself since prep, so or probably earlier. So absolutely ridiculous. And now I'm like, God, why would I ever feel sorry? My wife's been like, what have you got to feel sorry for yourself about? Someone said something nasty on the internet. Have a look at you. You're a successful guy. You live in a big house. You never have to work again. I'm like, well, yeah, right. But that's years and years of that training, training my brain to dwell in self-pity is fucking ridiculous. But you know what? Every moment's a chance to start new.
I love that. And so is there anything you wish, though, someone would have told you, and maybe it's that advice, but someone would have told you earlier at the start of your career? Would you have done anything different? Is there like...
Look, I have, I've been blessed and had a lucky career. There's no doubt about that. And luck plays a big role in life, I think, if externally at least. Yeah. So, and when you realise that it's not all sometimes the cards fall some ways and they don't fall your way, they fall someone else's way, and that's just luck. So accept that, I reckon. But I would definitely of that dwelling in comparison, over all those years, and I still do it. I still go on the internet and see someone else with a sold out stadium and fucking have a jealousy straight away. So I'm not perfect, believe me, I'm a long way from perfect. Yeah. But I have come a long way in my journey of relaxing in life, and I would have gone back and told myself, just stop worrying, basically. No matter what happens, worrying is your decision, and you don't have to do it. You honestly don't have to do it, and you're making a decision to do it, and you can make a different decision. So that's what I would tell myself as a kid, basically.
And is that the advice you would give to your kids or anyone else who is pursuing a dream?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say pursue your dream, but do not grasp at it, just let it come to you, basically. So, but again, I say that as well, but I also say, the more work you put in generally, the more you'll get out of it. So my son is another example with him. He's a pretty good basketball player. He's got really tall, actually. He's almost
he is
199 centimetres tall, so which is crazy, but so he's almost 2 metres tall, but I'm saying you've got to put the work in as well. So if you put the work in, generally it will pay off. So do the work, trust the work. So, if you do want to, achieve anything, whatever, you got to do the work, and then you trust the work. So, not that you have to do anything. You don't have to do anything at all. I don't give a fuck what you do. But if you want to do it, you got to do the work. So.
And you said a lot of it's about luck, but do you believe that you create your own luck?
Yeah, to a degree, yes, absolutely. But, but sometimes the things just don't work out. So it's not always going to, So for people going, well, fucking, you got lucky. Yeah, I got lucky. I did. I worked hard. I got lucky.
You did the work.
I did the work, but I got lucky as well. So I'm not here saying that, I'm not. Well, I've been blessed, absolutely. So, but I have. But I've also done the work, and I've loved it. Yeah. Last night, just did 2 gigs for free, just because I love being on stage and I love creating comedy and I love the audience laughing. So. It's never really been about the money for me, or really about. It's been about fame to a degree, but really the joy is that just making people laugh, which is something which it's intoxicating, and I'll be attempting to do it till I'll be on my deathbed, basically, going
making jokes about it.
I'll have a life support system in. I'll go, can you take that off for a minute? I need to charge my phone because I've got something funny to say. I want to put it on Instagram. So it's something funny about, your last day on Earth. I've got this is good, guys. So you'll love this. So, and I'll be checking for the amount of lights I get as I die.
So much material in dying, right?
Yes, definitely.
Well, looking back on your career, what was the most surprising thing that you learnt in your life? What's it taught you in your life?
What's the most surprising thing? Look, I think when you do realise that letting go is the best thing, to let go of expectation, which is what I did in that 3rd gig back in 1993 when as I walked on stage, I let go of caring about the result. So definitely staying in the moment. There's another example. Doing the Montreal Comedy Festival in Canada. So it's called Just for Laughs Festival. It's a prestigious comedy festival worldwide, and I've been invited to it a number of times, but luckily and thankfully. But I remember once I was doing comedy. There was a show called Comedy All Stars, and there was these names that are names well known in North America, and I'm not well known in North America. no doubt about that. But so I was on this lineup though. So, and every other comedian who'd walked out in front of 3,000 people had got a standing ovation as they walked out until I came on, and then I walked out and no one stood. And but I stayed in the moment. I just said to them, these sort of gigs that you'd have these people analysing every word you say, like ridiculously trying to go over your like 5-minute routine. Yeah. But as I walked out, no one stood. I just said to the crowd, "You're not going to stand for me, I see," and they laughed. And it was like, that was staying in the moment. It was staying humble. Yeah. It was. I mean, I'd been humbled by the fact that I didn't stand, obviously, but at the end of that gig, they all stood as I walked off. It was probably the only standing ovation I've had in my whole career, to be honest. So 3,000 people who didn't stand at the start of the gig stood at the end of the gig and gave me a standing ovation as I left. And actually ended up on TV in Australia. Not that anyone cared, but they cut out my opening line, which is not going to stand for me, which annoyed me.
Yeah, because it kind of set it up.
But you know what? But on TV, it looked like I got just a standing ovation at the end of my gig, like, you know. So in a way, it looked better. Yes. But you know, I went back the next year and did the same gig, but in my head was thinking about the previous year where they got the standing ovation. So I'm on stage in the same venue the next year in front of 3,000 people. Part of my brain's thinking about the fact I want another standing ovation. Yeah. And I wasn't in the moment. And guess what? Because I was thinking about that, I didn't get the standing ovation. But part of it was not being present. And the audience can tell if you're not present, you know. So, and they can tell if you're needy. Life can tell if you're desperate. And life doesn't reward desperation. So life rewards people who are relaxed. So that next year I didn't get the standing ovation. And then I'm walking away from that thinking, fuck, I was not in the moment. Yeah. And that's because I was clinging to the past. Don't cling to the past. Yeah. It's gone. So, and we're all fresh every day. Yeah. We're refreshed. Everything's fresh. The cells in your body apparently are completely new every, 3 weeks or so. I don't know. I'm not sure. Something so you're actually brand new all the time. So don't hold on to the past. Stay now. Gosh, you're always now. So, and that's the way you'll have a more relaxed and a more fun life.
But for someone who had anxiety or something, that would be very challenging to try and get it out of your head and actually stay present. But that's the key to life, isn't it? Like all times to try and get out. Yeah.
Stay present. I say this all the time, and I say it to my kids all the time. But I read I'm up forever. My Instagram algorithm is all about self-help, basically. And I appreciate that.
Mine too.
But I read there was a survey done apparently where the happiest people in the world are the people who think about themselves the least. So, so the less you think about yourself, the happier you're going to be. So, I mean, so that's So I truly believe that. So, and I say it to the kids all the time: just stop thinking about yourself. So, you know, I had actually Kate Langbrook, who I worked with for a long time on radio. She was complaining the other day, and she's in Italy trying to write a book, and she's procrastinating, and I get that, believe me. But she was banging on about how she wasn't happy or something, so I just wrote, "Stop thinking about yourself, Kate."
How'd that go down?
Well, she didn't. Other people liked the comment. I don't know if she responded to that actually. But anyway, I talked to her the other day, so we have a laugh. But yeah, that's stop thinking about yourself. And you're happy. I've got a mate who's like a brother, someone I know who's close, who's lost his job and he's depressed. I'm like, mate, fucking go to the cancer ward and see if you've got anything to be depressed about. You got your health. You don't need anything else. Honestly, your health is everything. So, and I get it. I've been full of self-pity for fucking decades since I was 3 or 4. But it's ridiculous. There's no need to it. You don't have to be. You don't have to feel sorry.
My husband has quite a few sayings, but one of his that I used to go, oh, that's harsh. But I look back now and I go, oh, it's kind of true. He used to get bullied a lot when he was a kid, and his mum used to say to him, you know what? While they're picking on you, they're leaving someone else alone.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Exactly. Well, it's like, if something goes wrong in my life, I just know that will provide joy for other people when I fail. So they're going to get more joy out of me failing than they are out of me succeeding. So I'm providing comfort for many people when things fail.
This is very true. Yeah. Oh, dear. So if you had your time again, would you choose the same path? Would you do it all over?
I would, yeah. So I'm very, very happy, very lucky. So, so I would. So no doubt about it.
Yeah. And the only dream, is there another dream you're chasing, or the only dream is just to keep doing this?
keep being funny. So just keep
Yeah.
getting a laugh. So I'll do it forever. So whatever stage I can find, I'll be up there somewhere. So the only dream is to keep having the opportunity to get a laugh. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And Hughesy, honestly, I think your perspective on life is just incredible. And I think you have a lot of sage wisdom in there as well from your years of experience. And what a gift to be able to make people laugh is just,
Yes.
it just makes you feel good.
You're right, Julia. And yeah, I'm very lucky and I love it. And yeah, but not everyone laughs, obviously. I tell you, I know when I'm bulletproof on stage though, is when I can look out to a crowd where most of them are laughing, but I hone in on someone who's not laughing, who like I can tell by the look in their eyes that they're having the worst time of their life. And when that makes me laugh, when looking at my abject failure with this person makes me laugh, I can't believe it. So,
That's fantastic. And do you think does that become an aim to try and break them, or is it just
oh no, it's
humor?
just, there's no aim, but it's just to be amused at people just staring at you. Is when you're amused at when you're amused at failure, you can't fail. So
No, that's very true. Hughesy, thank you so much for your time today. I've so enjoyed this, and I'm sure the listeners are going to love it as well. I really appreciate your time, and you are an absolute godsend to the comedy world.
I do appreciate it, Julia. Thanks for listening, and thanks for thinking of me. I do. I'm grateful.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this chat with Hughesy. I know I have loved it, and as I mentioned last time, I just walked away feeling incredibly humbled and lighter for the conversation. He really does have an amazing perspective on life and success and what's important. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone else who you think might love it. And don't forget to hit follow because there are lots more amazing guests to come. Take care. Till next time.